Peace, family. It's your brother Jay Speaks, and today I want to talk about the controversy that's been going on with the rapper Dababy. Now, I'm not here to talk about necessarily what he said, but really the outcome of him saying what he said. Personally, I believe that he shouldn't have said what he said. It was very out of place and random. In fact, if he felt that way, he shouldn't have just said it out in the open like that. But I, for one, am for freedom of speech and people saying what they want to say. I'm not for people being censored or quote unquote canceled because I need to know who my enemies are. We live in a day and age where people speak on how they feel, and the next thing you know, the world is shaming them into going back into hiding. I do believe that there should be consequences and repercussions for the things that you say, but I don't believe in scaring people into not saying what they feel, because at the end of the day, knowing who your enemy is and who does not like you, who does not want to be around you, is very important. I'd rather somebody tell me in front of my face that they don't want to be around me rather than they smile and lie and deceive me behind my back. Now, I really want to talk about the outcome of him speaking in the way that he did. At first, they told him to issue an apology. He didn't want to issue an apology. Gave a IG story or tweeted out some things that he said regarding that situation. And for a day or two, that was about it. But then all these major festivals start coming out and canceling him, taking him off the roster. A lot of people start speaking out about it and speaking on how they felt that he was making homophobic comments and being disrespectful to people with AIDS and other STDs. And the issue really got bigger and bigger to the point to where he had to be, quote unquote, silenced or taken care of. The issue mainly is when you don't own anything, you are not allowed to say what you want to say. It doesn't matter how much money you make, but if your money can't grant you freedom and the right to say what you want to say, you're still a slave. He said that he wouldn't apologize, and he talked about how we were making such a big deal out of it. And after 3 days of him getting canceled and them shutting down all of his festivals, he ended up apologizing. And that's what I really want to talk about in this video is ownership. Being able to do whatever you want to do because no one can wave money in your face. No one can control you. No one can enslave you. Being able to stand on what you believe in regardless. And that was just an unfortunate issue that happened with him. He said he wasn't going to apologize, but shows started getting canceled. Money started being lost. And he actually apologized, I believe 2 times to the LGBT community and others. Now, I personally believe that the LGBT community is really a bunch of bullies when it comes to forcing black people especially to bow down to whatever they believe they can do and having us really just at their beck and call whenever we need something from them. I read a saying that said, if you want to know who's in charge, watch for who you can't offend. Now, these rappers are always talking about killing each other, sexually assaulting their women, mistreating their children, doing all these crazy things. But he said something like giving head in a parking lot. Now it's a big issue and he getting canceled and losing millions. Even though 2-3 minutes prior, this man was talking about killing somebody and hiding the body and all this other stuff. But once you start talking about them, it's a bigger issue. They don't care when we degrade ourselves, but they care when we degrade them. So they giving you millions and millions of dollars to disrespect your own people, and they'll take all that away if you even attempt to try to come for them. It's not like he made a song talking about the people he hated and all the actions and crimes he wanted to commit on them. He really just said some stupid stuff that he shouldn't have said, And now this brother is missing out on hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And he had to go and apologize because he is not in control of his situation. He has people that he answers to. He got people that run him and made him, for whatever reason, apologize. Because he said in the beginning that he wasn't going to apologize. But 2-3 days later, once that money started getting hit, he apologized. The power of owning your own is to be able to stand on your own. Being able to do what you want when you want, and just being able to live your life as you see fit. But when somebody else runs you, that's not ownership. So we can bring this back to our daily lives. What do we own? If our jobs fired us right now, what would we have? Are we really just living lives based off someone else? Do we have a land? Do we have jobs? Do we have businesses? Do we have things that we can take and keep just in case the people that we work for, the people that we work with, take us out? Tell us, hey, we don't want you no more, you fired. Or tell us, hey, man, we don't need you, yada, 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 whoop-de-whoop. What do we have of our own? Because you can say that this brother is making millions of dollars, and that's cool, but he can't say what he want to say. He can't stand 10 toes on what he believe in because they instantly started taking his money away from him. They instantly started telling him he had to apologize, disrespecting, ridiculing him, creating all these situations where this brother just turned into really just a canceled person at the end of the day. These rappers sitting around here throwing all these money in these videos, talking about all the cars they got, all the women they have, all the things they have. But at the end of the day, they answer to whoever is writing their checks. If they say, hey, don't talk about that, or you can't speak on that no more, they're going to have to shut up and listen. And the money is going to be affected. If you don't have assets and not just liabilities lying around, if you ain't got a couple $100,000 saved up after receiving millions, you have to bow down to what these people say because you looking for your next paycheck. You a millionaire living paycheck to paycheck. So at the end of the day, if they tell you that you have to recant your statements, you are going to recant them no matter how much you feel about them. That's still a slave. That's still slavery. You're just a high top dollar slave. You don't run anything. You don't own anything because they're still telling you exactly what you need to do. And you're listening. This brother said that he wasn't going to apologize and that situation was over. They start canceling him festival after festival after festival. He come out and said, man, you know what? I apologize. I shouldn't have said what I said. No, you just said you wasn't going to apologize. But now you coming out and saying that? There's a lot of back and forth, and this enemy is going to make you bow down. If you don't have the things that you need to survive and to be self-sustainable, you might have to bow down. So the lesson from this really is owning and having your own, so that if they do come for you, you will be able to sustain yourself. You got money, you got family, you got land, you got everything you need. And if they quote unquote cancel you or stopping you from being at festivals and all these other musical events that really shouldn't be going on in Corona anyway, I didn't even know all these festivals was happening. Honestly, it was like they canceled this man from like 7 festivals in the next 2 months. So you know they missing out on, his whole team is missing out on money. But when you don't have that money to be able to sit some stuff out, yeah, you're going to have to bow down to the people in power. Like I said, family, I don't want to talk about all the other stuff that he did or whatever. I just want to speak to owning and having your own, so that when somebody comes for you, you will be able to stand 10 toes down on whatever you say or whatever you believe. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Peace, family.